Let's start with a little bit of concepts, some international finance terminology. Cross rate. This is the so-called implicit, rather than the actual, exchange rate between two currencies. Typically, it's not for the United States, but it's for two foreign countries, quoted in some third currency, usually the US dollar. So let's see what it's all about using the following example. Let's say the exchange rate, the current actual exchange rate between the US dollar and the Japanese yen is $1 equals 106 Japanese yen. Also, the actual exchange rate between the US dollar and euro is $1 equals 0.68 of a euro. So we have two exchange rates. Both have $1 and then they have the amount of a foreign currency. How would we find the cross rate between the yen and the euro? Because that's what the cross rate would mean in this example. So we need to write something like 1 yen equals this many euros. Or we may want to write it as 1 euro equals this many yen. So how do we do all that? First, because the way the two exchange rates are given allows us to say that 106 Japanese yen equal 0.68 of a euro, we can, basically, so because both amounts equal $1, we can set the euro amount and the yen amount equal to each other. So we write 106 Japanese yen equals 0.68 of a euro. And then we want to calculate the cross rate between the yen and the euro. So we can divide both sides of 106 equals 0.68 by 106. What do we get? 106 yen divided by 106 gives us 1 yen. And 0.68 of a euro divided by 106 gives 0.0064 of 1 euro. So this is the exchange rate, the cross rate, the implied exchange rate between the yen and the euro, expressed in terms of how many euros it is per 1 Japanese yen. But of course, there is another way of writing this implied exchange rate or the cross rate between the yen and the euro. And that would be in terms of how many yen it is per 1 euro. For that, we again go back to the little, formula that like equation that we had, 106 yen equals 0.68 of a euro, and instead divide both sides of it by 0.68. Because what we want is, we want to have 1 euro this time. So to kill 0.68 and have only 1, we need to divide by 0.68. And we divide both sides of this little formula, 106 and 0.68, by 0.68. So when we divide 106 by 0.68 on the left side, we get 155 yen. And 0.68 of a euro divided by 0.68 gives us mathematically 1. So this is the second expression of the implied exchange rate, or the so-called cross rate between the Japanese yen and the euro. 155 yen equals 1 euro. So it's the amount of yen per 1 euro.